Right, stamina is going down. That's fine on the whole. Let's move and explore. Pandoran supply flight. The behemoth sends flying Pandorans to raid human settlements and harvest their resources. Scientists observing the behemoth have identified a dangerous behavioral pattern, sending off its flock to raid isolated human communities to steal food and materials. We've codenamed these raids supply flights as they happen too often to be discarded as accidental. Okay. Do a quick explore over here. Okay, another haven. We can trade for a couple of things. Sure, let's do a quick trade. Thank you. And move on. We'll hit this one next. I've got to go through a couple of jumps to get up there anyway, so... can I trade, please? This one I would like to go for tech, if we're able. And materials. Okay, now I'm going to slow down our consumption of food, because we are actually using it up, so... It may, in fact, be possible. That's 10 for 2, 4 for 6. 4 for 5. 8 for 2. It may actually be possible to do circular trading. I've not really looked into it. See, there are different costs depending on the place. And it might also be dependent on your... yeah, I could have stolen the Tiamat. And whilst maybe, I would rather get a fast ship that I could also use as a means to hit supply raids and stuff like that. Okay, summary. Haven reports and scientific observations have identified new Pandora mutations. The following analysis is available. The Triton Thug. Species classification T-Gamma. A mutated subspecies of the Strangler that has adapted to use human shotguns. While the creature generally does not present a serious threat, its ability to regenerate and drain opponents' blood to heal makes it a nuisance. The Triton Hitman. Oh wow. This Triton mutation has developed the ability to use human sniper rifles, as well as learned to mimic their actions. Observation has shown that it also has enhanced perception and regeneration capabilities, and can further shroud itself by emitting mist clouds from the appendages on its shoulders. That's worrisome. And finally, Triton Ghoul, a subspecies of Hitman with heightened perception and regeneration capabilities. Using disciples of Arnold technology, it is capable of infecting opponents from a distance as well as draining their blood in close quarters. Direct confrontation, not advised. Okay. There's a lot of planes going out there. Let's move on. Are you planning on curing the corrupted soldiers? Not until there's a big issue with it. Food can now be produced from captured Pandorans in the Pandoran containment facility. After a series of failed experiments, the science team has finally managed to extract edible biomass from Pandoran specimens. While the taste remains terrible, it is a first step in ensuring that the Phoenix Project personnel have the necessary nourishment. As long as live specimens are brought from the field, they can be transformed into rations. In order not to cause disruption or morale issues, all information regarding Project Cornucopia has been compartmentalized. Only individuals with harvester access clearance are allowed to perform the procedure.
Are you aware of the legend of Fort Bacon? It's a tall tale, a myth of the post-apocalypse that circulates among our soldiers. It tells of a haven where people have found a way to safely eat the Pandorans, which, if reports are to be believed, actually taste of bacon. It's a very human response, I suppose, not unlike the utopias dreamed up by medieval peasants. But despite what Synedrian may tell us, there is no land of plenty, no secret haven ruled by Prester John. The reality of this world is constant struggle against infection. And I wonder, has the Phoenix Project forgotten that? Have you decided to set up your own little cockaigne, where the corpses of our enemies are a source of health and happiness?
Harvesting nutrients from Pandorans is a pragmatic choice guided by reason. The process is entirely safe. Opposing it because of mysophobia is absurd. Partaking of the flesh of the enemy is a step towards learning to exist in the new world. Okay, so basically with all of these I can choose which faction's ideology I want to support. This one would probably satisfy Tobias West. It's a pragmatic choice guided by reason. Only live specimens? We eat them while they're still wriggled. Well, how else are you meant to eat it? Yeah, it's crab long pork. The process is entirely safe. Opposing it because of mysophobia is absurd. This would probably align more towards Synedrian. Partaking of the flesh of the enemy is a step towards learning to exist in the new world. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. As memeish as it would be to say this, there is a degree of like roleplay. In any game I play, I try to put myself in the role of the game as I'm experiencing it. So in this case, I'm the commander of Phoenix Point for all intents and purposes. And so I'm role-playing as that commander. Personally, I would say that it's these two. This one's too memeish. The process is entirely safe. Opposing it would be because of mysophobia is absurd. Or harvesting nutrients from Pandorans is pragmatic choice guided by reason. I don't know. I mean, we wouldn't do it if it wasn't safe, obviously. But at the same time, it is pragmatic, and it is guided by reason. Yeah, we're going with this one.
A logical argument, at least on the surface. But I remember how many irrational policies were justified by an appeal to pragmatism, even as the Pandora virus was destroying the world we knew. I would advise avoiding short-term thinking and considering the long-term risks inherent in this technology you have developed. The Pandorans are the problem, not the solution.
Okay, so he didn't like that we're doing it, but is probably significantly less frustrated by our choice because we're not making it for what he would consider a bad reason. It's a dangerous choice nevertheless, and he doesn't like it. But the fact that his attitude towards Synedrian went down as well is an interesting one. Jersey, thank you very much for the Prime sub there. That's very kind of you. Diolch yn fawr iawn. And Takirosh, sorry for missing your sub earlier. 22 minutes ago. You subbed for the 49th month. Almost 50. Diolch yn fawr iawn. I ble aeth yr amser? That is a good question. I often find myself asking that. I think guided by reason was mean to be a clue towards Synedrian. Oh, well, I don't really care. I mean, that is honestly what I feel. I think it's a pragmatic and reasonable response to the situation. Okay. I'm not going to say it's completely safe because I don't know that it is. That's the honest answer. You know, we're eating the flesh of a virus that seems to mutate people. There is no version of this story that is safe, in my opinion, but it may be necessary. Right. Don't think I can interact with it. I think it is time for us to go and get this thing. We will have 3 days left then to go and do this quest. The Overrun mission. Active Pandoran flyers. I disapprove of you so much. Now let's get over there. Please don't move. Don't you dare. Right, okay, we're here. Anu Winged Warfare Doctrine. The disciples of Anu have completed one of their most sacred rituals, the rite of winged warfare. The Gospel of the Exalted instructs this doctrine should be set in motion only in if a great danger must be met high in the air. The rite includes anointments of airships for war and inscriptions of weaponry with oaths of vengeance. Multiple choirs of young children take turns chanting for days on end until the ceremony is complete. Honestly, if the disciples of Anu were less about flesh and more about machine, I would say that this is a proto-Mechanicus cult. Reinforced bulkheads, Ravager, a ramming module, and Ninurta's mace. A heavy cannon. Wow, okay. Fair enough. Let's go have a look at those, actually. So, provides 500 additional health. Okay. Currently, we've got flares, escape pods, afterburners, nomads, air-to-air missiles. We've got the Orochi heavy cannon. The Ravager. Yeah, Anu ramming module. Damage 200, shock 400. It would allow us to just ram straight into whatever we're fighting. That kind of is crazy. Unless it's more of a propelled ram or something. That seems weird. Anu's heavy cannon. Burst 1, burst 7. Damage is 360. Hit points 250. Range 800, actually 50. Hit points 150, range 1,300. So it's a much shorter range, but it's I think this is basically the aircraft version of a shotgun, I would say. Mechanicus are to Anu as the god machine is to Yabaldaboeth. I have no idea how to say that name properly, but on the topic of the Mechanicus, it seems we've got a raid coming in from Splat. Hello, raiders. We were just having a chat about how the disciples of Anu, who, virus-worshipping cult that they are, honestly do have some things in common with tech priests. Namely that when they decide to build a spaceship, they have to have choirs of children sing chants for days on end to anoint the weapons with vengeance, etc., etc. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Also, thank you very much for the shout out there, Demi, and the attempt, Bilal. You're playing Keeper Roguelike. That sounds amazing. I have been looking at that. In fact, I actually booted it up, I think, a day or two ago. And I played around a little bit with the Necromancer build. It's been so long since I played that game. How are you finding it, mate? But welcome, Raiders. Thank you for coming along. The robes have been presented. You can slip them on, or slip out of what you're wearing and just not wear them. But they are presented. They do make a nice cushion, especially if you've got leather seats and you've decided to go in the buff otherwise. It was fun. I always get sucked in for a week whenever... Yeah, no, exactly the same. I always get sucked in for a long while while playing. What type of keeper were you playing? Were you playing a traditional keeper, or did you go for one of the goody races, or maybe one of the new evil races? Did a necro run. Then we did a dwarf run. Oh, you've played the dwarves. How do the dwarves play? I haven't played them yet. But yeah, I really did like the necro edition. Though I kind of feel the necro ultimately devolves into my entire army of vampire lords. That just seems like the most efficient way of playing the necro, is once you've got enough corpses, everything is now a vampire noble. Because anything else is going to die in the sun, but the vampires won't, because they can cast darkness. And also, when they eat something, they can regenerate limbs, so you give them all 2 heads. So that if one head gets knocked off, the other head can still eat something and regrow the old head. It just seems like the meta for necros. The dwarves are the most roguelike of all the army roster, in my opinion. Okay, I'll have to check them out next. Gloomhaven. I have never played a game so unique before, with how you have to choose between top, bottom of card to take actions. Oh yeah, I've played Gloomhaven recently as well. I picked it up a little bit ago. Absolute amazing strategy game. it plays so differently from what I was expecting. But as for this game, welcome everyone to Phoenix Point. Basically, the most XCOM-like of the recent XCOMs. And when I say XCOM-like, I liken it to the old XCOM, the OG XCOM. Made by the mind behind the OG XCOM, so it's kind of no surprise there. This takes a lot of the quality of life additions and some of the flash and polish from the more recent Firaxis XCOMs and applies it over a skeleton that is much closer to the original XCOM in terms of its tactical flexibility, your choices. One of the most interesting features of this is the aiming system. The shots are simulated. It's not dice rolls. They are simulated. And so you don't need to, unlike like the Firaxis XCOM, where if you're not stood next to cover and you see that little shield, you're not in cover. In this, if you're stood behind something, reasonably speaking, it's between you and the person shooting, then you are behind it, because that bullet is being simulated out of the barrel of that person's gun, and it can't go around corners. 99% shots hit 99% of the time, exactly. And yeah, like for example, my personnel, quite a lot of them, although it doesn't show up for most of them. Let me go back to Chaos Dragon. My cyborg has a shield. He doesn't need it. He can project an energy shield in front of himself, but he wears it on his back. Because if someone shoots him in the back, it's going to hit the shield first. He never actually equips it. Like, I've just got it there to be an extra line of defense. The shot is simulated. You can hit someone's weapons before you hit them. The body parts are targetable. You shoot someone in the arm to the point that you disable their arm. If they've got a two-handed weapon, well, they're now shit out of luck. They can't fire a two-handed weapon with one hand. The best they can do is walk up to you and smack you with it. Which they can do, by the way. And that's the sort of stuff I like about this. The tactical layer feels much closer to the original XCOM. But you've joined us at a good time. We're actually about to go on a mission. I need a ship. I need an airship so I can put more people in. We've got people, and I need to stick them in more ships because, frankly, I'm losing this war of attrition because I don't have enough time to deal with the Pandorans. They've got infections rising up all over the world, and I have only got one aircraft, and, you know, it's middling speed at best. So, I'm about to make one of the three primary factions. There are other factions as well, and lots of different side quests popping up. I'm playing with all of the DLC. This is my first run through with all of the DLC, and it's the first run through of the game in more or less since Alpha. So the full game. And yeah, we're about to upset Tobias West a bit. He doesn't like us anyway, so I guess it's not a great loss, but he's really not going to like us after this. I got a Phoenix Point because I forgot to pause Humble Choice. You just sold me on my... Well, there you go. But you'll get to watch what I was just describing there in regards to the tactical in a moment, because we're about to raid a haven. It's going to be human-on-human violence, sadly. I really would like it if those of New Jericho could be our allies, but that would entail them just giving me their aircraft because I told them to, and I don't think they're going to do that. Also, some of my soldiers are corrupted because... and I'm going to blame New Jericho for this. I don't actually know if it was New Jericho scientists, but the scientists decided that this virus is just randomly mind-controlling people to walk into the ocean and turn into crabs. The best thing to do with that is try to weaponize it, so they, of course... played around with it in a lab, and of course it got loose. And so now we've got a super aggressive version of the Pandora virus roaming around and corrupting people. It's like, will they ever learn, really? I mean, if you are going to do top secret weapons research on an already extremely dangerous virus, then at least go the SCP route and have like an on-site nuke ready that if Specimen Zero does break out of containment, you can just vaporize the entire facility. Yes, you'll lose all the scientists, but you're going to lose them anyway when it mind-controlled them and then laid eggs in their brains. So, you know, all you've done is you've turned their death into a noble sacrifice. But before we jump down there, I'm going to do a quick run through on all of our units, make sure that they are all up to snuff, make sure that I've spent skill points, at least on the people that are on the Zenzi Aurora. Do you have any... You do have 30 experience points to spend, okay. You're rolling around with a Bulldog AR-50. This is the new Jericho assault rifle. You've also got the Phoenix point automatic cannon and the Disciples of Anu shotgun. Are you toting a grenade at all? No, and you're already at maximum encumbrance. I could increase your strength to allow you to carry more if I really wanted to. Your willpower is already high enough, I feel. I could get Onslaught. An ally within 10 tiles recovers 2 action points, limited to 1 use per turn. So basically, I'd be able to donate 2 action points at the cost of 4 will points of this soldier to a nearby ally, which would give us some tactical flexibility. Again, I'm really big on tactical flexibility. I could also increase damage at the cost of accuracy. I'm not big on that one. I could gain melee weapon proficiency. The action point cost of grenades and other explosive weapons is reduced by 1 and the range is increased by 50. I don't have a grenade launcher. I could maybe make one for you, but I'm actually okay with the auto cannon. I could give you more strength, though. You're very close to being a top tier. One of the nice things about this is everyone can multi-class. You have, for those who have just come over in the raid, I'll quickly demonstrate this with the recruits. When you choose a recruit, you can pick recruits. They more or less all cost the same amount of money, and you know you've got different classes unlocked. But these are basic recruits from Phoenix Point, so they'll start off as the class of sniper, heavy, or assault. They will have personal aptitudes that will unlock at various levels that you can purchase with skill points. And these are just natural abilities. They're inherent, innate talents. So, you know, I could get a bonus to accuracy but a drop in damage. I could make them be able to throw grenades better. I could give them heavy weapons proficiency. Now, the nice thing about that is I can give them heavy weapons proficiency. That is genuinely quite useful. But you can also multi-class. Once you get to class level 4, you can choose another class to train them in, and then they get the entire perk tree of that class. Now, with certain weapons proficiencies, for example, they have self-defense specialist, and I could take sniperist, which effectively gives them the proficiencies to use sniper weapons types at no penalty, which is actually really, really good. So I could have someone here who, for all intents and practical purposes, is a triple class. Sniper, assault, and heavy. They just have all of the added boom pow of the assault and the heavy. And you can also increase stats. Generally, I favor speed because action points are a thing, and each action point will allow me to move a certain distance based on speed, so maxing that out gives me the most bang for buck per action point I spend on moving. Unlike for XCOMs, you've got action points and you can spend them however you want. Doing something doesn't end the turn. Running out of action points ends the turn. You can attack and move, or move, attack, and move if you've got the action points to do it. Whatever. I think I'm going to give you... How heavy is that? It's 1 weight. I'm going to give you 1 point of strength. I'm going to give you a grenade. I'm then going to invest... no, I can't anymore. Well, I could. Each mission you do, you also get like a common pool of skill points. And these can be spent on any soldier. Each soldier gains skill points based on what they're doing and how well they do in a mission. But this is kind of like a common pool that I can dip into if I need to. So I could buy this even though it's above the soldier's personal skill point allotment, because I could just take 6 points out of the communal pool. I don't think I will, though. Brithnorth, have you been augmented? No, you haven't been augmented. I could augment you. I could cyberize you a bit. And maybe that would be worth doing. Though realistically, it would only be your head or your legs, because I want you to be able to wear a jetpack. So that's probably where we're going. But cautious is not bad, actually. I'd drop 10% damage, but 20% bonus accuracy? Considering you've got a sniper weapon and your accuracy is down because you're also a heavy class, so you're wearing heavy armor. But the only thing is, the grenade launcher is not going to benefit from me giving you more accuracy. That's just purely trajectory. You're not... Well, because aiming changes the aiming reticle, then this doesn't use the aiming reticle in any way. But still, the times that I use the sniper weapon... Maybe. I think I'll hold... Well... No, I'm going to go for it. There we go. Getting this for you would be useful eventually. But right now, that's made you a much better sniper. The beautiful thing about Brithnoth is they've got a jetpack, so I can have a sniper jetpack up to a really amazing camping spot, rain down grenades, or snipe, depending on the situation. It is broken good, in my opinion. Butter's Ray, actual sniper. Sniper Assault. So I've got return fire. If anyone shoots at the sniper will return fire outside of their action point allotment. It's not like you've got to have points in Overwatch to be able to do it. If anyone shoots them, even if they have no action points remaining, they will shoot back. And their gun does a lot more damage usually. Weak Spot, disabling any body part, also removes all of the armor on that body part. Very useful. But ultimately, reloading and inventory actions do not cost any points is stupid good. Bukuaz. If we then get rapid clearance, recover 2 action points for each enemy killed until the end of the turn. Now, using your sniper gun costs 1 less action point. Oh, actually, no, I would need to use will points for that. But your pistol only costs 1 action point, which you're very dangerous with. If I got ready for action, I could reload the pistol for free, and once I've activated this, basically just keep shooting the pistol until I run out of bullets for the pistol. As long as I'm making kills, I can just keep going. Oh, does accuracy affect the grenade launcher? That's awesome then, in that case. Also, Synedrian weapons are laser weapons, so they have stupid ammo for them. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. Yeah, we're going to go for ready for action. It's just a solid choice. Bombardier would be an amazing on someone with... well, actually, gain mounted weaponry, you mount that on your armor slot, so that's actually pretty cool. But that is way too good to pass up. I am going to bump up your will points, though. Will points are used generally as a defense against attacks, which are like psionic attacks. Inspire. Killing an enemy grants allies 1 additional will point. That is huge. Heavy training for this one. We've also got Thief, so we've got stealth bonus and speed. We've also got Farsighted, so +2 to willpower and 10%, +10 to perception, which is really good. Our accuracy is a little bit low, but... we are definitely taking Inspire. That is it for definite. We're also bumping up your willpower. I'd like to get willpower up to 15 at least for most people. This is our... how should I put this kindly? China has been taken to calling them a child soldier because they were born like, I don't know, it wasn't a couple of days. It was probably like a month ago. But the thing is, they were born as fully adult. That we made them. One of the upshoots to the whole, science was too busy asking if it could rather than if it should. And yes, there is now a crazy virus going around that is even worse than the original one. But we can now use it to make our own soldiers. And look at that face. So, yeah, we can make mutoids. So the bad thing with mutoids is you have to restore their health with mutagens outside. You set them up as their original class. Any class. Actually, I think it might be any class you've researched, or it might just be these 3. They are immune to corruption, which is good. Additionally to that, though... where are you? There we are. They can't get as high a level. They can only go up to level 5, whereas a regular soldier can go up to level 7. They can't... they sort of multi-class. They don't have any innate abilities because we literally made them. They were born in a tank. They didn't have time to develop aptitudes through childhood. However, every level you can pick from any skill at that level across any class that you know, that you've researched. Also, you can pick one alien ability from any class that you have fully researched. So, for example, they can jump up or down a level. They can just leap up there. And they've also got assault training. That's their basic class. At level 2, which isn't far away, I don't think. Yeah, we're actually quite close. We can get them something new. In terms of the creatures that we have... oh, wow. We can eat the aliens we've captured now. We've done that research. And, you know, these are live aliens. You can't do it to dead aliens. And chat was quite amused by the fact that we can't eat the corpses of aliens. We can only eat them if we bring them back alive. Therefore, it is now canon that the only way to eat an alien, which, by the way, is part human. This is made of various bits of DNA. Almost all of them are made partly out of human DNA. Though I don't think the Mind Fragger is. But nevertheless... the only correct way to eat a Pandoran is while it's still wriggling and trying to get away. Make of that what you will. Really? I'm not going to... I don't need to defend our choices, damn it. But, yeah, every Pandoran that we've managed to vivisect, and you got to bring them back live. Again, we can do autopsies, but... apparently, we can only really understand them if we cut them open while they're alive. Then we get the ability to choose from their abilities in the mutoids. But there we go. All right, I think that's enough chatting over things. There are lots of other things that we'll cover. And thank you very much for your patience while I've just been talking through stuff to bring everyone up to speed. I think it is now time for us to get in there. I will just do a very, very quick visual check over my soldiers, make sure they've got the things. You've got a neuralizer, which is good, because the more aliens we can take alive, the better. That being said, we're about to attack New Jericho. We don't need to chat. What are the odds that we can taser a human opponent and bring them back to containment and then vivisect them and or eat them? I feel that... See, I want to say 0%, but at the same time, I'm hoping for not 0%. But I don't want to bring this heavy piece of equipment with me if I don't need to. Only aliens. Can't have human sushi. Such shame. Oh well. If Tobias West sent me a memo saying, hey, you know, we've heard stories that you eat people, I would also reply with, look, it's a practical decision guided by reason. I'd give him exactly the same line that I gave when... are you eating the aliens? It's like, yes, I am. Makes sense. There's a lot of them. That would be my exact response to, are you eating my citizens? Yes. It makes sense. There's a lot of them. Right. Haven info. Okay, we can't trade with them. They don't want to trade. They refuse. What we can do, though, is I can straight up steal their aircraft. Their population is they're starving quite a lot, actually. And this is something that's a bad thing for us. We need to... This is our doom clock. Once this reaches there, it means that whilst there are still humans alive, there is no longer a viable population to... Even if we've wiped out the Pandoran threat somehow, we wouldn't be able to repopulate from such low numbers. So... we only need your people, Tobias. That is true. Okay. The leader is going to be unhappy. Obviously, New Jericho is going to be very unhappy. Threat level extreme? Oh. Are we ready for this? Reach the aircraft to activate it and evacuate your squad. Continuous attack. Enemy reinforcements will arrive continuously from areas marked with this symbol. Maybe I should have brought one of our cars. Both Anu and Sanhedrin will be happy with this. What do you think, chat? We've hit New Jericho before in raids. Ghost Vermilion says risk it for a biscuit. I gotta say, it seems like the game doesn't want you to be friends with New Jericho. It really does at the moment, yeah. Execute Order 66. Steal aircraft, then raid research. I mean, honestly, if we end up doing this, we probably will end up, you know, having to just raid New Jericho a lot. The threat level extreme is a worry, but we're doing it. All items on the battlefield will automatically be recovered after the mission succeeds. Oh, nice. Okay. I could cure all of our people to have loads of willpower. I think each one is only slightly corrupt, though, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Deploy. Have we seen an extreme threat level before? I'm not sure. I'm gonna be slow and steady with this one. Well, not that slow because it's continuous reinforcements, and I will eventually run out of ammo. Thankfully, most of my assaults use their guns, so I can just grab more ammo off the dead, but... You're not stealing everything from New Jericho, are you really playing Phoenix Point? That's a good question. Steal aircraft mission. Get a soldier to the objective marker near the aircraft and activate the objective ability. Hold out for a few turns, then the aircraft will be stolen. Oh, I've got to hold out as well. That's unfortunate. Okay. We can always leave if we need to. Right, that's our aircraft. We've got sight on at least one soldier over there. We've got... These glowing areas are kind of will refilling areas. If we can get a soldier to them, it completely restocks will. Very useful. What we don't want is to end up fighting everyone here. I could just run through the walls with our cyborg, which would be funny, but... Okay, first things first. Brithnoth, I feel the most important thing for you to do is to jump jet somewhere far along, get a good sight of the battlefield. I ultimately want to be up there. Don't mind me, New Jericho scum. We got any more units? No. Good. Now, the nice thing for you is you still have a pointer that I can move around with. But more than that, you're in a somewhat decent spot here. Can you see them? You can't. That's fine. I'm going to move up to this corner. I want to be up there, and I will be up there soon. I could jump down, but there's no point. But because of my abilities... I can overwatch for one action point less than it normally costs, which means for us, I'm going to have a very wide overwatch over here. A pistol overwatch is free. I can always pistol overwatch with anyone with the sniper class that has taken that perk. Right. Another sniper. Now, the problem here is you are not able to just jump jet. So you're going to have to walk up the long way to go there, which I don't want to do. Do I want to go up and over? I feel up and over is... Taking the high ground is a strong move. But it does open me to some dangers. One thing I could do is poke my head in here and have a look in this room, or I could just go up top. How many ways up there are there from inside? Not that many, so as long as I control the access points, then I should be safe. There's a lot of places on this map that are considered tactically advantageous and thus will give us will point returns. So for this, I'm going to use 1 point of movement to move 2 points worth of distance in one go. One of the very nice abilities of an assault trooper. Can I watch it? No? Okay, fine. I can still move over here and take a shot if I want to. Or I can use dash to get up top and still take some shots later. I think I'm going to move over here. Okay. From here I can watch this side fairly aggressively. But I'm going to set that up when I've finished moving. Now you've got a sight there. Now, if I were to fire this, this is how firing works in this game. I can just shoot, and that means that my soldier will aim for center of mass. Now, to understand this is the size of this reticule is based on the soldier's accuracy and the distance to the target. Closer they are, the smaller the reticule becomes. Also, the more accurate you are, the smaller the reticule becomes. Now, that matters because the outer circle, 100% of my shots will land within this area. The inner circle, 50% of the shots. Each shot has a 50% chance of ending up in this circle. So if I look down here, there is a very... like, I can see exactly what my soldier can aim at. I could shoot, but there is at least a 50% chance straight up that any bullet is going to hit this wall. This one. And then the other 50%, only... so there's like a 25%. There's actually less than that, really. This is a very small target to go for, so there's no point. There's absolutely no point. If I got closer, it would be a bit better. But we're not closer, so... and I don't want to go through there. I would like to go up top. We're going to use all of my action points just to run. Again, I would like to be right up top if I can make it. Alternatively, I could have you over here, watching. Would I be able to overwatch from there? No, I would have barely any turn left. That said, I could have you go along the ground, but... because you can jump up one level, which others can't. Yeah, actually. Okay. You'll be able to leap up onto that ledge on the next turn. Oh. I can see them. Who did I spot? Ah, we saw them through the window. Okay. On their move, they spotted through that window this unit. Now, notice in the, like, for Axis XCOMs, you do anything and you use up the action point to do it. You've got 2 moves. It's like game of chess where you can move each unit twice. They will continue the run, but now I've got different, like a different readout. This is what remains of the partially used movement point. Like, when I use an action point to move, I am given X many tiles of movement based on my speed. And if I don't use all of that up, then I don't fully use up that action point. But I can't use that partial action point for anything else. And I can stop, I can start. It's really quite nice. But I do worry about them. So now I'm going to get behind this location here. There we are. We'll stop there. We'll jump up there next turn, I think. I think that's the play that we're going to go for. Right, my cyborg. First and foremost, that's actually, I'll go for another one first because I want to move the people out of your direct way so you can get the most movement points out of it. This is my heavy assault. Can't quite get up there in one turn. So actually, I'm going to move you forward then in that case. Oh, no, I'll move them first. Again, I'm trying to move people out of your way as I can. Again, another person who can dash, which is grand. We're going to just dash forward with my sniper. Now that leaves me enough action points to use their sniper weapon, but I can go into Overwatch for 1 point with the sniper because of my sniper's skill set. So, going to use another dash. That is reducing my will points with each move, but when I take one of these strategically advantageous areas, I'll get those will points back. Now we're going to go into Overwatch, and pretty much if anyone moves up here, I want you to shoot them. And it's a sniper weapon. But depending on how far out I move the Overwatch, anything within this cone is the Overwatch. If it's not within the cone, we won't try and shoot at it. But one of the nice things in terms of the, like, I'm not just choosing the direction, I'm also choosing how far away. With a sniper weapon, I can go for max distance because they're very accurate at long range. But if I had a pistol, I could put it here. So that if someone was running up there, then we wouldn't take the shot. We would wait for them to move within the area where the pistol is going to have a decent chance of actually hitting them.